Yes, please check. My voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, again check. I will share my screen. Now PPT is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now 1 minute. Yes, any doubt regarding this working principle of VAT governor? Okay, when it comes to the offline, again in our lab also, you can see that two governor, one is Porter, another one is Hartnell. When you come to seventh semester, you have a design lab. In the design lab also, we'll go for conduct the experiment on this governor. Okay. Now next slide is visible. Please give me
Yes,
response.
sir.
Types of governor. The slide name is types of governor. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, in governors, okay, types of governor. As you know, the governor is it is a device which is used to maintain a engine speed within the limit whenever the load varies. Whenever the load varies, right? Then comes to types of governors. The governors are mainly classified based on energy controlled type or energy dissipate type. Energy controlled type, so what we can see in the previous slide, we are going to supply the fuel, or you're going to supply the steam, or you're going to supply the water to the turbine. Now you're going to supply, you are going to control the energy by supplying of the quantity of working substance or quantity of the source. That is called as energy controlled type. See the example, we are going to supply the fuel or steam or turbine. So it's steam, you are going to supply the fuel, steam or water to the turbine or to the engine, right? That is called as the what type of governor here? Energy controlled type. You are going to control the energy by supplying the working substance. Quantity of working substance you are going to supply. Another one is energy dissipated type. Energy is dissipated means already we are energy stored in the in the devices. Best example, if you take old gramophone or spring toy, any spring toy you can take, or spring loaded wall clock. If you see that earlier they use this type of wall clock, spring loaded. They go for first, go for give a key, go for initially the store the energy, potential energy in the spring. Then if you leave it, that whatever the energy stored in the spring, there's a potential energy that will dissipate it. Means that converted into kinetic energy. That is called as an energy dissipated type governor. You can see almost all the toys related, baby toys that are related to the spring toy, right? Or you can see the whole gramophone also in the spring loaded wall clock also, right? These are called as energy dissipated type governor. Again, we'll not go for in detail here. Energy dissipated this is not in our syllabus. We have only energy controlled type. Now how do you control the energy? You can see that in the watts governor, how do you control the energy here? Means whenever the governor bus rotates radially outward, when the speed decreases, how it comes back to the position when speed decreases. Okay, so how the governor buzzer moves radially outward and how it come back to the original position due to what force they are acting here? When the speed increases, the centrifugal force acting here on the governor ball. That is due what type of energy control is takes place due to centrifugal force. That is mr omega square. That type of governor is called as a centrifugal governor. It is controlled by a speed. If you increase the speed, the whatever throttle wall is automatically it comes to closed position. If you decrease the speed, throttle wall open to supply the amount of fuel, right? That's called a centrifugal governor. Another type is inertia or flywheel governor. Inertia is a property of mass resistant to changes state. That property of mass is called as inertia. Or you can see the flywheel. Heavy mass vehicle is attached to the crankshaft. There is a flywheel. That is how it controlled here. It's controlled by acceleration. Means we take a flywheel, when power stroke, the flywheel rotates more, it accelerated more, the velocity changes with respect to time is more. When you go for remaining stroke, suction, compression, exhaust stroke, it is deaccelerated, means velocity changes with velocity decreases with respect to time, that is it is controlled by what? Acceleration. As you know that inertia force is equal to mass moment of inertia into angular acceleration. Again, we'll not go for discuss the inertial governor or flywheel governor. We only discuss about centrifugal governor. Again, centrifugal governor is further classified into three groups. Whether it is gravity control, means how the once the governor ball moves radially outward, how it comes back to the original position due to a gravity, means the weight of the governor ball. What is the weight of the governor ball is m into g. This is a gravity control. Or some you can see that is spring controlled. We use a spring. The spring shows here what property here? Stiffening property. Force per unit deflection. That is called as stiffening property. Or you can combine both gravity controlled and spring controlled. The combined gravity and spring controlled governor. There is a combination here. This is what comes under the centrifugal governor. When governor bar moves radially outward due to centrifugal force, how it comes back to the original position due to a gravity control, due to weight of the governor ball, or due to a spring attached to the governor to the sleeve, or the another one is combination of gravity and spring control. Again, gravity controlled governor further classified into two groups depend upon the scientist's name. The Porter governor, another one is Proel governor. Okay, Porter governor is a scientist name. Proel also is a scientist name. It is also consists of a four binary links and governor ball attached in between the binary links here. This is a Porter governor. Next, if you go for spring control governor, it may be a Hartnell governor, means a spring is attached in the governor shaft axis in between the sleeve and the what is the upper arm is joined here. Okay, upper arm joined in that location to the sleeve. In between, you can see the spring is attached. That is called a Hartnell governor. Or Wilson Hartnell governor, Horton governor, Pickering governor. These are the other types of spring control governor. Again, for your syllabus, you have one is Porter governor, another one is Hartnell governor. So governors are classified based on one is whether the energy is controlled or energy dissipated. If it is energy control means supply of fuel or steam or water. How do you control that energy? How do you control the supply of the fuel, steam or water? Whether it may be a centrifugal type, centrifugal force due to a centrifugal force or due to rotation of the due to angular velocity or due to the angular speed. That is called as the centrifugal governor. Or if you controlled by acceleration, then it's called as inertia flywheel governor. Again, in centrifugal governor further classified into how it is controlled the speed. How do you increase the speed? Due to centrifugal force increases. When speed increases, centrifugal force also increases. How they come back to that original position, the governor ball? Due to one is a gravity control due to a weight of the governor ball, or due to a spring is attached here, or combination of these two. That is called as a combined gravity and spring control. Again, gravity controlled further classified into based on the scientists who are involved or who are invented the type of governor. Who the scientists who invented the type of governor, that is the Porter governor, another one is Proel. Again, if you go for spring controlled governor, the spring control governor, it may be a Hartnell, Wilson Hartnell, Harting and Pickering governor. For your syllabus, you have these two. One is Porter, another one is Hartnell. Okay. Is any doubt regarding this slide? Yes? Is any doubt? So give me response. No response? Yes.
No,
You
sir.
can see the one is for your syllabus, you have only two type governor. One is Porter, another one is Hartnell. What is a Porter governor? How do you define Porter governor? Yes? How do you define Porter governor? It is a type of a gravity controlled, centrifugal type, energy controlled type governor. Governor is it is a device which is used to maintain an engine speed within the limit whenever the load varies. That is a governor. Here I am going to define Porter governor. How do you define Porter governor? It is a gravity controlled, centrifugal type, energy controlled type governor. That is the introduction. After the introduction, what is the next step? Construction. Now, what it consists of? Again, you can see that it consists of again four arms. Four arms. This is the arm number one. This is nothing but arms are links, or the binary links. This is arm number two, arm three, and arm four. Arm are nothing but levers or links. Is a binary links. It consists of four arms. Two upper arms are connected to the governor axis. This is the governor axis. This is the governor shaft axis. Two upper arms are connected to governor shaft axis that pivoted at point O. Other end of the two upper arms is connected to what? A governor balls. The mass of the governor ball is m, and radius of rotation from the governor shaft axis to the CG of the governor ball is r. Radius of rotation is r. Right? Now again lower arms are connected to one end of the lower arms are connected to governor ball. Another end of the lower arm is connected to what here? Another end of the lower arms are connected to sleeve. Sleeve is nothing but is a heavy mass a component attached over the governor shaft axis. Is the separated from the governor shaft axis is the hollow portion. It is a mass is attached here. Due to this sleeve, what happens? The mass of the sleeve, due to mass of the sleeve, the weight of the sleeve acts vertically downward. That weight is called as m into g. Okay. Now this is a construction of Porter governor. Now how it works? As the speed increases, the governor balls, the upper arms moves radially outward. Due to radially outward, what happens? The radius of rotation of the governor ball is increases. R value increases. R value increases to R1, R2. Okay, radius of rotation is increases. Now that is attached to where? Attached to the throttle wall. The sleeve is attached to the throttle wall. Once the governor ball moves, once the speed increases, the governor ball moves, the speed increases, the governor shaft rotates angular velocity omega. Once the governor shaft rotates angular velocity omega, the speed increases. Now the governor ball also rotates, it moves radially outward. Once the governor ball moves radially outward, what happens? The lower arm is attached to the sleeve here, now sleeve moves upward. Once sleeve moves upward, the movement of the sleeve is connected to where? To the opening and closing of the throttle valve. Once the sleeve moves upward, it closes the throttle valve. Once the throttle valve closes means amount of fuel supply is less. Amount of fuel supply is less means what is the power generated by the engine is less. Once power is less, the speed at which the engine shaft rotate is also less. Once the speed rotate is less, the speed of the engine is less. What happens? That attached to what? Where? Governor shaft. That attached to governor shaft, then the governor shaft also rotate less speed. Once the governor shaft rotate less speed, what happens? Due to this weight of the governor ball and the weight of the sleeve that moves, that produces a that makes a radially inward. The lever governor ball moves radially inward. Once radially inward, the sleeve moves downwards. Once sleeve moves downward, it is attached to a throttle valve. Then it will open the throttle valve. The amount of fuel supply is more to the engine. It produces a more power and are connected to the governor shaft axis. Now governor shaft rotates high speed again. That our aim is to maintain the engine speed within the limit whenever the load varies. When load increases, the what happens? The engine speed is decreases. Then I want to supply more fuel. When load decreases, the engine rotates more speed. Then I want to cut off the fuel supply to maintain the engine speed within the limit. This is a what here? Porter governor. Similarly, you go for Hartnell governor. See that the in between the sleeve and the In between the sleeve and the pivot point here, you can see that springs are attached here. Is the helical spring is attached here. The helical spring, again, it is having a stiffness K. Stiffness of the spring is K. What is that? How do you define stiffness? Force per unit deformation. Force per unit deformation. That is the stiffness. Okay. So here also, when the speed of the engine is more, the governor shaft also rotate more. Due to governor shaft rotates more here, this is what we use a bell crank lever. Bell crank lever is right-handed. See that? This is a bell crank lever. The thumb shows here attached to governor ball, and the forefinger shows a roller is attached. Once the speed increases due to the governor balls also rotates, the moves it moves here like this in this direction, means it moves here radially outward. Once it moves radially outward, due to roller attached to the sleeve moves where upward. The sleeve moves upward. Once sleeve moves upward, it is attached to a throttle wall of engine. It will cut off the fuel supply. Once the fuel supply cut off, the engine speed rotates less. The governor shaft also rotates less speed. It decreases the speed. Once it decreases speed, due to mass weight of the governor ball and also the spring attached here. So once moves here, radially moves outward, the spring moves upward. What happens? The spring undergoes compression, right? The spring undergoes compression. Once its speed decreases, the governor ball moves inward, radially inward. How that the spring undergoes expand. The spring undergoes expansion. Due to the spring undergoes expansion, the sleeve moves downward. Once sleeve moves downward, that is attached to a throttle wall. This is how the Hartnell governor working principle. Okay. Yes. Any doubt regarding this? So here in the Porta governor, due to the weight of the governor balls and the weight of the sleeve, you can control this. The moment, the what is it, when it rotates high speed, due to centrifugal force, the governor balls moves radially outward. Then how do you come back to the original position due to this weight of the mass, weight of the governor ball and weight of the sleeve? That moves radially, that moves downward, that produces that, that produces a force that moves the governor bars moves radially inward to come to the original position. Here we use a spring instead of a gravity control. Here we use a spring. That is called as, how do you define Hartnell governor? How do you define Hartnell governor? Again, go refer this. The previous year, Hartnell governor is defined as, it is a type of a spring controlled centrifugal type energy control type governor. This is a definition. Second one, if you go for working principle, how it works. Then third one, go for construction. Second one, construction. How parts are arranged here. The figure, the sketch. Third part, how it works. Then fourth one, application and the limitations. Right? This is the introduction about the today's class. Introduction about governor. Today we discussed about what is a governor. Then types of governor. Then why do we use a governor? Then types of governor. Then what is a Watt governor, Porter and Hartnell governor? Yes. Any doubt regarding this session? You can unmute yourself and ask the doubt. Yes. Yes, if you have any doubts, unmute yourself. No doubt.
No, sir.
Yes. Okay, I will take the attendance. Wait for 2 minutes. Now, if you have doubt, in the meantime, you can ask me. Yes, no doubt. Okay, shall I end this meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you for attending the class. Okay, I'll send the video and also the notes in the evening. Okay. Yes, thank you for attending this meeting. Thank you, one and all. Now I will end this meeting.